I'm very excited for this.
I didn't know I needed to be excited, but I am now. 'Cause I didn't know this was coming. I thought we were drinking Japanese whiskey.
Oh, yeah, I was not excited for that. I totally forgot about that. I walked in and saw this Japanese whiskey sitting on the table. I'm like, oh no, put that away.
Put that shit away. All right, here we go.
It's going to go everywhere. Oh, man. Good? Bad? Ugly? Yeah. No, you pour it. I'll small one. It's in the glass. I don't know what I'm doing. You forgot that you had to take off the label.
Oh, yeah.
Weird.
I do want to read this box.
Yes. The box? I thought you were going to say the
box first,
book.
and then I'll talk about the book.
Okay.
Excuse me. Sorry. I just woke up from a nap.
Oh, my God.
Parenting is weird. Smells good.
Yeah, it smells really good.
Like, it just smells good.
So, I was talking to Rob, and I'm like, buddy, like, because Zach called me. He's like, let's get Chris a bottle of whiskey. I'm like, fuck yeah. Probably going to get a bottle anyways. But he's like, I figured you would know what whiskey to get. I'm like, I know what whiskey to get in like the $60 range.
Yeah, I
have no clue on like higher end whiskey. So I'm like, maybe we need to consult Rob.
And are they only higher end because they like are imported or they're rare? Like it might not
like
necessarily be
batch.
better. Might not necessarily be better, but it might come from a certain location.
Like
and they only make a little bit every year.
Yeah, you know that Weller's. I talked about it back in like November. I was trying to get a bottle.
Yeah, you still haven't gone, I don't think, right?
Yeah, it's because they only make, it's like small batch. They only make a certain amount of bottles. So there's like only, let's say 40 bottles that go to each store, at least here in Ontario.
Yeah, so good luck.
And they sell out within like the first 3 days it gets to the
only
store.
way you would have to do it is to pre-order a case, like 12 bottles I want.
Yeah, so I might see if it's still listed on their site. If it is, I'll order us one. Because I saw somebody else talk about it and they said it's one of the best whiskeys they've had.
I'm excited to try it when eventually it does come in. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry, I had to clear my body. Clear my entire body out. All right, I wanted to read this Dalwhinnie. I'm a sucker for a label.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Dalwhinnie, the Gaelic word from which the name Dalwhinnie comes, is a Dali. I'm pretty sure that's the exact thing, which translates as the meeting place. Founded in 1898, Dalwhinnie still remains the old ways, using increasingly rare wooden worm tubs, which are a landmark outside the distillery. I'm assuming that those are not tubs filled with worms. I'm assuming it's like a type of barrel.
It sounds gross. It is. Phil, it sounds like there should be a tequila.
Yeah. Oh, this book talks about tequila worms. I will bring that. Yep, I'll bring that up as well. The classic Highland malt ages slowly to develop a remarkable character, smooth with flavors of creamy vanilla, heather honey sweetness, finishing in a smoky Highland glow of surprising intensity. Its combination of delicacy and depth sets it apart.
Well, I definitely smell the vanilla.
Yeah, it smells like just delicious.
It does. It smells really.
There's not a hint of alcohol in this smell.
No.
All right, let's just try it.
All right,
I'm
cheers.
excited. Cheers, man. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I want to try an Isla. So Rob was telling me, I'm like, I don't know what to get. I know you've had some nice scotches, and Rob's a Scotch guy and went through a huge phase. Wouldn't even call it a phase. He just got into whiskeys. And
just like Scotch.
Yeah. And so I'm like, I need your help because I have no idea what I'm going to do. I can go there and I'll pick out a bottle if you guys don't give a shit, but I'd rather get something that I know is good or that he's most likely going to like. So I was talking to Rob and he's like, I need to read the bottle. So a Highland Scotch, I think he said is more sweet and floral. And then you have your Isla whiskeys or scotches that are more smoky.
And this has a bit of both.
A little bit of both, but it's more.
Smokiness comes on like floral, way after the
drinking it. I taste the floral and
nice
and the sweetness.
The sweetness for sure.
So I
and
think
you get the little bit of smokiness way after it's already down.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
So I think for our 1 year, I think we should splurge and get a good Isla.
I'm in.
All right. Just to try, because now I'm very curious. But this is delightful.
It is. So, for those watching, wondering what I'm sifting through.
I will say this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad we're back on the whiskeys.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if anybody noticed if you were watching on YouTube. I didn't finish my glass last week. I enjoyed what I had, but I like halfway through the episode, I'm like, I can't do it anymore.
Okay. So I got this book by Amy Stewart for my wife for her birthday called The Drunken Botanist. She's just been sifting through it, and she's like, you guys should read this before you do your reviews because it's full of like a ton of information.
Yeah.
And it's literally like the other week when we were doing tequila. If I just read this beforehand, all of those questions
that we had
easily, it was like I was sifting through it. I was laughing. I'm like, oh my God, we asked this question, this question, this question, including the worm are all here.
Nice.
So I'm just going to give you it's more of a review of tequila. And
okay.
Moving forward for those listening and for you, if we're drinking a whiskey or a scotch, I'll go through, find the whiskey or scotch and we'll go through a few fun factoids.
Yeah.
As you would. About the whiskey that we're drinking, but I wanted to update the tequila or agave,
sure,
just because it was. We've talked about it quite a bit. So, a field guide to tequila and mezcal: 100% agave must be made entirely from a tequilian, Weber Blue, in the DO with no added sugars, which is what that Restrepo was. It was 100% agave. Must be bottled by the producer in Mexico. May also be called 100% de-agave, 100% puro de-agave, and so on. So there's like a special. I just assumed 100% agave was like they were just using the agave plant. It sounds like there's actual criteria that you have to meet. So it's like it's like a labeling standard, I guess.
Yeah, makes sense.
Tequila, a bottle simply labeled tequila, is a mixto, meaning that it can be made up with up to 49% non-agave sugars. It can be bottled outside. Under certain conditions, do yourself a favor and skip the mixtos. So do not buy a bottle that just says tequila.
Gotcha.
Based on what that says.
Okay.
Silver or Blanco is unaged tequila.
Okay.
So the dark is aged.
Yeah.
Gold, which I think is what we have, is also unaged for tequila, may be flavored or colored with caramel color, oak natural extract, glycerin, and or sugar syrup. Sorry. So gold is also known as Joven or Oro, and aged is Reposado, which is exactly the name of that bottle.
We had Reposado.
Aged in French oak and white oak barrels for at least 2 months. There's extra aged and then there's ultra aged. Just crazy shit. But you mentioned the tequila worm.
I did.
It's just like it's a gimmick. It doesn't
make sense.
Yeah, which I think we kind of were saying. Like, I don't think we've ever actually seen it.
Never. I've heard stories that people have like eaten the worm,
gone blind. I think it's like an old wives' tale almost.
Yeah, I've heard people like, they pulled the worm out and it was like a bottle that they were drinking in tequila in Mexico.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, did you eat it? If not, I don't want to hear the story.
Yeah, why are you telling me this?
Yeah.
So the worm or gusano, sometimes found at the bottom of a bottle of mezcal, is the larva of the agave snout weevil, or the agave moth, and typically not, as is widely reported in booze literature, a moth that does feed on the agave but causes less harm. These grubs are only added as a marketing gimmick and are not a traditional part of the recipe. They are usually sign of a cheap mezcal aimed at drinkers who don't know better. Makers of fine mezcal have lobbied unsuccessfully to have the worm banned entirely because they feel it denigrates the entire category. So I guess like serious tequila nuts are like, fuck the worm.
Yeah.
Should not be there.
Yeah. Makes sense though. It shouldn't.
If it's not part of
the process, why is it there?
Yeah.
Do you want to go through the Scotch one?
You want to do the whiskey one? I didn't know if you wanted to talk about something else.
Does it go to like just Scotch?
No. So
it's just whiskey in general?
No, it's not whiskey in general. That's what I thought it was. It's actually the plants that make up.
Oh.
So that section I just read about tequila is in the agave.
Got you.
So where I'm pulling these out are actually in the barley. And then there's wheat, which we can read about later, which probably be...
Sure.
So barley's made with... You can make whiskey out of barley. You can make whiskey out of wheat. And I'm sure corn and rice and all that stuff.
If it doesn't really go with that, like the bottle, we don't have to.
No, this works though.
Okay.
So whiskey or whiskey, based on the spelling, it's a Gaelic word meaning water of life, which is the most Irish thing ever. The fact that you would name whiskey, like, no, it's just water of life. That's what it means. Yeah. Sounds about right. Well, way to go, Ireland. Jesus Christ. So there's a section here on how drink Scotch whiskey, which is very apt.
Okay.
Magic of Scotch and water and the controversy over chill filtration. I like reading things like that because I'm assuming that's how the person wrote it. They're like, God damn it. Even though it's
stop drinking it with ice.
It's just a note. The best way to drink whiskey and any other high proof spirit for that matter is with a little splash of water. Scotch connoisseurs recommend adding 5 or 6 drops per ounce. It doesn't dilute the flavor, it actually heightens it. To understand why, consider the fact that the molecules with the most flavor, largely fatty acid molecules that come through near at the end of the distillation, tend to break away from the alcohol in the presence of water and form a suspension. Blah, 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 blah. So a splash of water will cause some whiskey to become cloudy, and those clumps of molecules in suspension bring the richest flavors forward. Dribbling ice water causes cloudiness for much the same reason, but more on that later. Even storing whiskey at a low temperature can cloud it. Whiskey is generally not sold at cask strength. It comes out of the barrel at a higher proof and is watered down to, say, 40% alcohol, which I did not know.
I didn't know that either.
Before they bottle it. Once the water is added, the fatty acid molecules are even more likely to break loose under cold temperatures and form a cloudy suspension that the bottle distillers call chill haze. To get around this, many whiskey makers put their spirit through a chill filtration process in which the temperature is deliberately lowered to force those fatty acids to clump together so that they can be sifted out with a metal filter. Next time you're sitting in a bar, show off your chemistry prowess by adding water to your whiskey to check the presence of long-chain fatty acids and molecules. Then raise the glass and enjoy.
I probably won't do that.
No,
I'll probably just drink it.
Just fucking pound it home.
Yeah, if I want to put water in it, fine. If not, I'm not going to be like, guys, check me out.
Yeah, I know.
Like, no.
I'm good. I'm going to try adding a little water to this.
I feel like you're going to spill that.
I feel like I might too. This is probably too dumb. I don't want to ruin it. No water. So anyway, there's some interesting shit in there. Lots of interesting stuff.
Man, there's a lot of vanilla in that.
Quite
That's
remarkable.
crazy. This is so this will be a high rating. This is going to be at least for me, it's going to be high. Oh my God. That's in there, right?
That is...
You okay?
That is really good. No, I'm just enjoying it.
Okay.
That's quite remarkable.
That's really good.
Sweet.
Like, dude, after I had a sip of water after, that's all I had was vanilla. That's all I got. I get a little bite on my tongue. I don't know about you, like drinking it.
I get in the back of my throat.
Do you?
Yeah. Little burny, warm.
Yeah. Oh, it's...
Let's start going through this.
Yeah. What's the first one on the list?
Virgin.
The Virgin? Holy fuck. Okay. Before we get any farther, what are your rules on a 10? Like, you think 10's like almost impossible to hit?
I think the only way you can give something a 10 is if it's absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we're qualified enough to define what perfect is. But
that's fine. Okay.
But that said, it's our show. It's our rating. It's our rating. And we're just having fun with it.
Yeah. Okay.
The only problem with a 10,
you can't go higher.
Well, you can't go higher, and also you may have something that's better in future.
That's what I mean.
And then now you're giving everything a 10?
Yeah. And nothing can beat it. You're saying there's nothing in the world better.
I hate teachers. Like, there's always teachers that are like, I never give anyone 100% on everything. which is bullshit because you can absolutely get 100% on something.
Yeah.
If you meet all the criteria and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll be able to find something that, like, again,
Meets everything.
this is just preference.
Yeah.
Right. So like, yeah, like I'm like pretty much everything we've sampled might have like a 7 rating or an 8 rating. Is a 10 for me every time. I love it. You know,
Again,
really,
like we've said in the last few ratings, there's only been like one bottle we didn't like.
Yeah, and we're actually going back to review it eventually because we were just fucking around. Like, who knows?
Yeah, we didn't have.
Yeah.
We just were like 4.2. Like there was no justification to why it was that.
If you throw a 10 at it, I'm not going to be even a little bit mad at you.
I was just curious.
What's your thoughts on it?
My rating? I don't think anything could hit. Like maybe like one category could hit a 10.
Yeah, but not an overall.
But not an overall.
Yeah,
because again, there's always going to be something better.
Mm-hmm. This is going to be a very highly rated bottle.
So on Father's Day, I was like just shooting the shit with my dad. He's like, "There's always going to be somebody that has something bigger and better.
Yeah,
somebody's always going to make more. Someone's always going to be richer, but there's also going to be people that are poor that have less.
Yeah, you have the inverse.
Yeah." And always. So it's the same thing. Like there's always going to be a bottle that is going to, that could be better.
Yeah. We may never try it.
Yeah.
We may never find it.
It could be fucking $40,000.
It could be out there. Yeah.
But it could be out there. And again, it could be a small batch. It could be a small distillery out in Ireland. And the only way we're going to try it
is if you're there.
If you go there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay. So we have pretty similar thoughts on it.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah. The Virgin is the first one?
Yeah.
It's high. I'm 9.7.
That's good. That's like your first impression of it.
Yeah. Yeah, 9.7.
I'm right there with you. I'm like 9.5.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you can afford $1,000 for a bottle of whiskey, I recommend you go out and buy this one. I have no idea what it costs. This is the only alcohol I've ever smelt that doesn't smell like alcohol.
100%.
That's not deliberate.
Yeah,
so like that coffee whiskey we had.
Yeah,
it's deliberately to smell like and taste like coffee.
Yeah,
this is made to be whiskey and doesn't smell like whiskey.
No, like when
it's if it's there at all, it's faint.
Every other whiskey we've smelled or alcohol in that matter, you always smell the alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
Like you get the other flavors, but it's like a 50 split.
Mm-hmm.
It's 50% alcohol, 50% flavor.
This is
like 80-20, if not.
Yeah, it might even be higher 90-10,
than that. 90-10, you know, like it's more flavors than it is anything else.
I'm going to be a 9.3 on the smell.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm going 9.2.
It smells great.
Smells fantastic.
Yeah.
What's funny too is I hated Scotch. And this is our second Scotch.
And you love both.
Yeah. And I also thought I hated rye. Now, I think we've had 2 rye.
Yes.
2 ryes.
We might have had 3 because I think
the
40 Creek is rye.
Oh, okay. Right. We had the High River. We had Crown.
The High River was great.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I really like that. I did.
Talk about episodes where you drink too much.
Yeah.
I think we drank pretty much like 3/4 of that bottle on that show. That was before we were recording it. Like with the video.
And then Bareface was also a rye. Wasn't it? It's a Canadian.
I think you're right.
It's a Canadian whiskey.
I think it's a rye.
And me and Eric finished that bottle.
Yeah. This is, but it's back to what I was saying before because you were saying, however long ago since we started this, I don't like Scotch. And my point was, I think you might.
Yeah.
Like you like alcohol. If you like straight alcohol, I think you can really like anything straight. Like you even like you're not a vodka drinker.
I like the vodka we had.
Yeah, I'm not much of a tequila drinker.
You drank the tequila.
I love the tequila.
Yeah, I think you had 2 drinks.
Probably.
Maybe 3.
Who the fuck knows? I don't
Bottle's
remember.
Gone.
Yeah. But that's the thing is, here's the thing. I like drinking. Mm-hmm. I think it's okay to like drinking.
Yeah, me too.
It's just, I think it was just a matter of broadening your horizons for myself. Anyway, because I was always like, for sure, I was like, I'm not a Scotch drinker.
Yeah. I also think that because we've been drinking Scotch on a more frequent basis, you start to grow your palate.
Yes.
And we've also been degenerates and
yeah, by virtue of being degenerates as young men, it inadvertently grew our palates to more things.
Like passing around a bottle of
around a fire,
turkey,
whatever the fuck.
whatever it was.
Whatever it is.
Bullet bourbon.
This is fantastic.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying this.
I will say this for anyone listening. Like by far the best thing we've drank on the show.
100%. It's also
in 40 something episodes.
It's also the most expensive we've had.
So there is, but
this is the first $4 sign on the sheet.
Yeah. It's funny because there's like 96 out of 100 point winners in wine in the LCBO that are $9 right now.
Yeah.
My aunt. That's a weird one to mix up.
Really quick.
Super weird one to mix up.
Yeah.
My aunt got her sommelier license when she retired for kicks. So like what a great thing that is for your aunt to have, because there's always good wine.
Yeah.
And there's expensive wine, there's cheap wine. Two of her favorite wines she showed us are like $8. And she's like, this is as good as anything you'll get.
That's crazy.
And it's $8. So, because to me with wine, I always thought like a $50 bottle and a $10 bottle are pretty much the same thing. Because to me, there's a certain snobbiness to wine.
Yeah.
Again, those listening, watching, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm probably wrong.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hey, whoa.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Shocker.
You're not an expert.
News flash.
You're not an expert?
I'm guessing.
Holy shit.
But when she got her sommelier license, she's like, for sure, price can make a difference. But a lot of like the average wine drinker, like you and I, or whoever, the average wine drinker will base their selection off of price. And what she's saying is that is not necessary.
Yeah.
Now, if you go out and like, if you know wine and you go and fork out for a $200 bottle, you will have probably some of the best wine you've ever had in your life.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know wine, you can fork out for a $100 or $200 bottle of wine and get the same quality for $20. That's sort of what I've been led to believe.
Yeah.
I kind of assume the same thing about whiskeys, booze in general. I'm not sure if that's necessarily the case. In our very small sample size.
Yeah, because again, look at it, some of the bottles we've had that are $40, $50, and they've been amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would definitely go if I didn't have a budget.
Yeah.
I would still probably get that over this without a budget. Like
just like a preference.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
but this is, oh my God. I think wines, like, I wonder if some of the more expensive wines are also because, again, they're smaller batch.
Yeah, I don't know.
And like, I have no idea, right? Like,
she'd be a good person to ask about it, because I've picked her brain on wine before, and usually it's over a bottle of wine, so you kind of forget where the conversation goes.
Yeah, understandable.
Naturally. But it is, my mom did something similar as well, but it is pretty interesting, like blind taste tests, white, red, 4 corners of the globe, and they can pick them out. Smells and all that shit, and you're just like, I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah.
I get that, I guess.
Yeah. But because now I'm a whiskey sommelier, I can do the exact same thing she can with zero schooling.
Yeah, same.
Due to degenerates.
Yeah.
Degenerates.
Fuck yeah.
Bang. Smoothness. 9.7 for me.
Yeah. I'm going 9.6.
There's going to be a theme to these, I think. It's going to be a 9. I'm
trying to remember what the order
flavor
is.
The order is
really
smell, flavor, smoothness, and finish.
Gotcha.
But because my brain doesn't work, and it just worked really well there.
It did.
I can never remember when I write it out.
It's fine.
So it goes in a different order every time.
I need to remember to start taking a picture before I leave. I think every week since we've done this, except for the first week, I was like, I took a picture, and every other week it's like, yo, can you send me a picture?
And last week I took a photo, I think, while we were recording.
And you forgot to send it to me.
And forgot to send it to
you. That's awesome.
Just for the photo updates.
Flavor is going to be pretty high.
Where do you post the photos, just in case? Because
Instagram.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any
And Facebook. They go on both.
Instagram and Facebook. So
Yeah.
anyone out there should go out and follow CJ on Instagram, because I don't know if there's people that just exclusively watch on YouTube or not. But what CJ does is he'll put together like our review card. It's got our dumb fucking faces on it.
I want to redo those pictures too.
We can.
I got an idea for them.
Great.
We'll
talk about it after. But you should go and check them out. Follow him on Instagram and take a look at the photos, because he does they're fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do a good job with them.
Thank you.
So
let's go with flavor first.
Yeah, flavor.
Flavor's high for me. It's really good. I'm going 9.8 on the flavor.
I don't think you're wrong on that.
It like
this is a wild thing, because you sip it, it's sweet. You get other flavors.
Yeah.
You swallow it down, it's gone, and then you get smokiness.
A little bit, yeah.
Like
I'm not getting a whole lot of smokiness.
You're not getting it?
Not a whole lot, no.
Wow. Make me look like an asshole.
Yeah.
9.
I guess you're more of a sommelier than me.
9.7 for me. Again, it's so good.
It really is. And the finish?
Finish is high for me.
Is it?
Yeah. I'm going to go 9.8 because I get the smokiness at the end.
Okay.
I get the faint, like the whole thing is interesting. Like you get a little, you swallow it down, it's good. And then it's not just like a burn after, it's like you get the warm feeling, and then you're also getting like a smoky flavor, which I don't get at all in the tasting until the thing's down into my gullet.
Yeah.
What did I say? 9.8?
You did. I think.
Sleep deprivation is a real drug, and it is not to be fucked with.
Like I said earlier, grow up.
Yeah.
I gotta go 9.5 on the finish.
Okay.
Again, it's so fucking sweet. I just get a little. I'm getting the burn more in the back of my throat. For some reason, it was on like the tip of my tongue at the start, but now it's at the back, and that's the only thing bringing it down a little bit. Because I think we've had others.
Have you had many smoky whiskeys?
I don't know.
Maybe I was just trying to think why you're, because
maybe
it's definitely there. It's very hint.
Maybe it is.
It's like a hint, but
maybe it is. And that's why I want to try an Isla.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're
like drinking fire.
Really,
like the coals, like what you would see after the night of having a fire.
That's what we're drinking.
If you could put that in your mouth, you'd be like, yeah, that's exactly what that tastes like.
Maybe that's what I'm getting then.
Maybe it is. Either way, the results are final.
Yeah,
they cannot be altered in any fashion whatsoever.
It is what it is.
Craziness.
Should have got a drive.
It's never too late.
No.
We're not doing anything else tonight, so you're welcome. We'll talk about that after.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you're looking at it. Hawaiian shirts.
I saw that. Where'd you get that?
I've had this for a long time.
No. Oh, yeah, you have. Well, I haven't seen that one. You told me about the pineapple one.
I almost
you have another one that's like watermelon or something.
We had a few drinks last night for Father's Day.
And as you should.
As we should. Went to bed about 10. My son woke up at midnight.
Oh, fuck.
And he's been on a hot streak of like a good 6 to 7 hours a night.
He's actually kind of sleeping.
It's been great, but like when that's the case, like if he goes to bed at 9, he's still up at 3:30.
Yeah.
But at least you kind of get like that, because we pretty much go to bed when he does.
Yeah.
Last night we stayed up a bit. We were fucking shooting the shit, having fun. Went to bed at 10. He got up at midnight, and we were
figures.
We were drunk going to bed. Where was I going with this? There was a point to this. Fuck.
I don't know.
This is how sleep deprivation works.
That's how my brain works on a normal basis.
Jesus Christ. There was an actual point to where I was going with this. Oh, so dumb. Oh, so we're basically doing the same thing tonight.
Oh,
like this is what we do. Like we'll be in bed by 9, have a few drinks, hang out if you're welcome to stay. I'm pretty sure there was more to it, but I'm fucking dumb. And I'm sorry to people listening every week that are like, what is this fucking guy trying to say?
Moron.
Just say it with your mouth.
English is hard.
Wow.
Thank you, Rob, for the suggestion on the whiskey.
Thank you to you guys. That's very sweet. You don't have to get me anything.
It's your first Father's Day.
It is. But it's...
You're also our best friend.
Thank you. It's not necessary.
Actually, you're more of a brother, to be honest.
Oh, you guys are too. Don't make me cry on air, please.
Why? Whoa, I just noticed this. It's got a tuma. See that? Got like a little. I don't know if the camera will pick it up. It's very small, but it's got like a little. It's got a little tail.
Oh yeah, on the backside.
A little tail on
little
the backside.
fin.
Yeah.
Results are in. We tied.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. You had a decimal point, but based on how you round decimal points. There you go. There you have it.
The scores are in 9-6
across the board.
Across the board.
And that's
it
that's
is
a perfect representation.
Well deserved.
Yeah. That's a perfect representation of it. And that's
the review, ladies and gentlemen.
There you have it.
Dalwhinnie, 15 years.